Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. This video obviously contains spoilers for No Way Home as we go through what might have happened if in the final battle, Tom Holland's Spider-Man was in fact able to kill the Green Goblin. Keep in mind, Peter 1 would definitely have finished the job if not for Tobey's Spidey jumping in front of Norman. Had no one interfered, Peter would have gone down a darker path, a path that his newfound brothers were all too familiar with. Peter only saw red as he fought the Goblin, this thing from a different universe who took his May away from him. How could he let him live? If Norman had to die along with the Goblin, then so be it. His friends would understand. Peter takes the glider that killed May and nearly made him lose MJ too. He raises it above his head to end this once and for all, and thrusts it forward with all of his spider strength. But this time there's no one there to stop him. Peter 2 was too late as Peter 3 watches in horror. As the Goblin began to die, a piece of Norman bled through as he turned to Tobey. Peter. Tobey could see the man he knew was still underneath that monster, but once again the Goblin quickly took control one last time as his eyes turned cold with an evil smile. He did what you could never do. The Goblin was no more, once again impaled by his own glider, and Peter Parker just became what Quentin Beck wanted the world to see him as, a killer. The Spider-Man come running to help, with Peter 3 holding the cure for Norman, as Peter 1 realizes the reality of what he's just done. He sees his friends frozen in shock after what they just witnessed. Ned and MJ just watched their best friend kill someone he knew was curable. The two Peters approached Tom Spidey with caution, like they were trying not to set off a landmine. Peter, this isn't us, this isn't you, this isn't what we do. Did that make you feel better? Worse. Feels a lot worse. But he took May. Peter, being Spider-Man doesn't mean you can save everyone. And sometimes the more people you try to save, the more you hurt. I don't even know if I'm worthy of being Spider-Man anymore. If you've been bitten by a radioactive spider, I don't think you have much of a choice. Before Peter can fully break down, the two Spider-Men give him a hug, because they knew that's what they would need at this moment. They confess that they've both killed before, and intentionally or not, it's something that haunts them forever. They were trying to console him, but they knew there was nothing they could do or say to help. Peter was already fully broken inside. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange is still trying to keep the multiverse from collapsing in on itself. Peter still has the same conversation with Strange about how he has to make everyone forget Peter Parker. MJ reassures Peter that she doesn't see him as a murderer. Peter tells her the plan of what's about to happen, but he lies when he says they'll meet again. Because now, Peter can't forgive himself for what he's done, and would rather his friends not remember him at all after what's happened. This means we would no longer see Peter enter the coffee shop where MJ works to try and get her back. The original ending for this movie has Peter alone but hopeful, donning a classic bright red and blue Spider-Man suit. In this version, Peter killing the Green Goblin leaves him broken, angry, and unsure about his future. Peter doesn't leave his apartment. We still see bits of a Spider-Man suit that he's been sewing, but he can't bring himself to suit up again. It seemed everywhere Spider-Man went, people died. Instead, he stays inside listening to the police scanner, and we see a sliver of the Venom symbiote that Eddie Brock left in this universe move past Peter's desk, and we cut to black. So obviously, this ending definitely is not a satisfying one, and by no means is it meant to be better than the original ending, and that's kind of the point. If Tobey's Spider-Man doesn't jump in to save Norman the same way Harry did for him, then Tom's Peter would have had a much darker future, with him becoming a more hardened vigilante who would only want to work alone to avoid getting close with anyone. It's this moment in No Way Home that defines the trajectory of who Spider-Man is to Peter and shows why it was so important for Tobey to stop Tom. This was a what if video I thought of literally last night of recording this, and I thought it was super cool, so I wanted to make it as soon as I could. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, or else I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.